This is an exam question about mammalian gas exchange. It says, insert the most appropriate word or words in the paragraph below on mammalian gas exchange. So it's mammalian gas exchange, so we're talking lungs. The surface area of the lungs is greatly increased by large numbers of structures called, well, the parts that give the lungs a large surface area are the alveoli, which are the sites of gas exchange. The process of exchange is entirely by, so we've got a choice of different transport methods, so active transport, facilitated diffusion, and diffusion. Well, active transport is using energy against concentration gradient. Facilitated diffusion is down the concentration gradient but uses transport proteins. And diffusion is just down the concentration gradient. So the process here is diffusion. And this is made more effective by the fact that the walls of these structures consist of, well, they're made of a thin layer of cells. So there's a short diffusion distance. The surfaces are moist, and once oxygen has entered the capillaries, it passes into the, well, oxygen, when it goes through the capillaries, it goes into the cells that transport oxygen, which are the red blood cells. Scientific name for red blood cells is erythrocytes. More specifically, you could say it's the hemoglobin, because that's the chemical inside the red blood cells will pick up the hemoglobin to make oxyhemoglobin. So it passes into the red blood cells via the plasma and is rapidly transported away from the site of exchange, thus maintaining that, well, to continue the efficient gas exchange, we've got to have a diffusion gradient. So that's the term we're after there. And the blood carrying away that oxygen attached to hemoglobin means that the concentration gradient is maintained. So you could write diffusion gradient or concentration gradient.